Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to celebrate the first opening of a community center in District 4. And I believe the strength of a community lies in its ability to gather and to rally around things. And that's exactly what we're doing here today. So thank you so much for being a part of that. And I can say, as a personal testimony, the park is already being used. I brought my little girl last week, and it was great to see the neighbors bring their kids, and they were out riding bikes, and there were a couple other families that popped up. And so I was very encouraged to see that. So definitely the right location, the right equipment, and it is going to be such an asset to our community. So thank you so much for everyone who worked hard on this, and facilities management, parks and recreations, neighborhood and human services, and engineering. And it was really truly a team effort, and those people really made it happen. Specifically, Director Rob Hogan, Deputy Director Robbie Friedman, facilities maintenance staff. Your whole team has been amazing to work with. Director Michael Rhodes, Deputy Director Adam Reed, Director Clara Long, Deputy Director Latona Carter, and Division Manager Leroy Williams. Director Joy Blackman, who really went to an extra effort to make sure that we had the trees saved. So thank you, Joy, for our shade today. We appreciate you so much for being on top of that. Construction Management Division Manager Rob McCracken and Senior Project Manager Nick Cruvane. Did I pronounce that right? I nailed it. Great. Thank you so much. I did not get the ball rolling on this. I just kind of got to close out the project. Previous Commissioner Robert Bender, now Supervisor of Elections, was the one that really headed this up. So Robert, if you want to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Commissioner Hofberger, and welcome. I'm glad to see this come to fruition. When I first ran in 2018, I realized that there was no community center in District 4. And so there were a number of sites that we looked at for the Ferry Pass area. And I knew that, one, I'd heard from the neighbors that there were some problems with this area and that it wasn't materializing for UWF. And so I went to Dr. Saunders at UWF and asked if they'd be willing to sell it to us. And it was an immediate yes, that they wanted to see it continue to be an asset for the community and turn it into something where it was more productive than what they were using it for. So, and not only that, but in conjunction with turning the pit into a retention pond and making that look more beautiful, to save these 4 acres that we're sitting on here, and let the community continue to enjoy it, was very important. And yes, as Commissioner Hofberger mentioned, saving the trees, because this was something that we heard from the citizens almost immediately, was retaining that. And then, really, I think this is something that got the ball rolling for having the CRA over here. And those are funds that will be able to be used for sidewalks and lighting and facade projects and windows for the houses, and just really lift up the community, because I know we've definitely done a lot of street lights and things like that. I remember all those calls coming in, but again, now there's that dedicated funding source that can be used to improve the community. So this is almost the anchor for that, to where I know we have a lot of HOAs in the area that we're always trying to find places to meet, either in the back room at the fire station, or at the lodge, or just even all the way going over to going into the city and using their facilities. So now the residents in this area have something to use. But really, this was a team effort. I really want to thank all the staff that were involved, and I know it mentioned all the directors, but we tried to do a lot of work in-house. So we had facilities that was in there scraping the ceiling and painting and everything else, and trying to do some of the design in-house, and just working with the neighbors to either put in the new fence or to run the sewer lines. It was really a team effort. So thank you to everyone who was involved. I think that your hard work is shown in the product that was given. Rob Hogan, the facilities director, it was the building needed some love and some renovations and overseeing those and bringing it up to code. Unfortunately, we did have to put in the parking spots, but again, we tried to make it as minimal as possible to where we could retain the layout of the property. So, Commissioner Hoffberger, thank you for seeing this through the last few months and making sure that we got to this point. Having the neighborhood, the playground for the neighborhood. Again, we saw the impact that it had when we did it over off Olive Road at a retention pond where we put in a walking track and the playground and just saw that the community really embraced it. And so I don't foresee seeing anything different on that. So again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And hopefully that the residents and the community will take full advantage of this great new asset in District 4. Thank you.
Thank you again. And my vision for this is you can come in and you can back your car up and you can have picnics and watch the kids play on the playground and that you'll use the community center. So my ask to you today is that you post about this on social media, you invite your friends to come and play, and then you start booking events here just to help us get the word out, because we do want to make sure that this is used to the maximum level that it can be. I think we are ready for the actual ribbon cutting portion. Is that correct?
One.